53. I guess we got this topic started a little early. Shit, where do I even want to start? It doesn't look like my normal crew came, but my old crew came from my old show, so Kill is here. And well, I guess everybody
Okay.
forgot there was a show tonight. So well, hold on, let me do
I
some.
just noticed the message this afternoon, to be honest with you. So
Yeah,
me neither have seen it yet.
yeah, I can do the show. Like I haven't done a show by myself solo in quite a few times. I've done it like with no notes and not really into this subject topic, but this is one where I could actually maybe do on
Right.
my own. So we'll do a half hour show probably.
Or whatever.
Yeah, so there's been some crazy. Okay, there was a. Let's just start off with the alien invasion shit. Okay, so there was a guy. His name is Cliff High, and I believe he was a language. The way I haven't really looked into his background, so I don't really know if he is a programmer, but he does speak the lingo. Okay, like I do work in IT, and I have done some coding project, and he did say some stuff where it made me seem that maybe he was working on a lot of these like precursor language models that were using scouring data sets on the internet to do predictions basically for the stock market. And I've heard this shit before. I've had some crypto bros who are like eggheads that have come to with me with projects like that to make automation crypto bots that buy and sell based on other people's behaviors and searching for shit on the internet. I've heard of those as well. But this is back in 2009. And the guy was, I remember hearing about this guy in 2019. Clear as a bell. But it was all wrapped up in that QAnon stuff. So I just was like, whatever, this guy's making predictions in QAnon world, right? So this guy predicted a bunch of stuff that did come true. And the kicker is that his language model had predicted in 2009 that his bot that there would be this marker 39 days after Joe Rogan's podcast being a new word on the internet, and Joe Rogan didn't have a podcast at that time. The 39 days after, there would be an alien invasion. And there was a post in November 16th of this month that was the day of
It's
the
December.
yeah, the day of the the New Jersey drone started. And over the holiday weekend, which was around the 38th, 7th, 39th day, or just around from the holiday weekend to now, we have worldwide reports in every country, not every country, but every four corners of the earth about UFOs. And I am having trouble not finding a report anywhere in the world right now. It's like, it was like there was nothing, there was no big, and then all of a sudden, there's smorgasbord of shit. So, did the alien invasion happen? I don't fucking know. Is it technically not? Was his prediction technically true? Yes, I did see a headline that did say alien invasion from a minor, what do you call it? An unknown, not a too well known news source.
Right.
So, did his bot predict something that probably came true, half true? Yeah, I got to give it to him. I give him a half award. I don't think there was an alien war. I don't think there wasn't the war of the worlds going on, but it was damn interesting. And
Yeah. See that.
we
So no opinion. Sorry.
go ahead. I mean,
I,
what are your thoughts? I mean, like this guy,
I'm
like,
just
go ahead.
hanging stuff. So.
Huh?
Oh, I said I've just been hanging out in some chat rooms and things, and I've seen a couple of headlines, and that's really it lately.
Oh
To be
no,
honest.
no. Oh no, if you watch Twitter, it's kind of hard. If you're watching Twitter slash UFOs slash UFOBs slash UAP, like it is off the hook, dude.
Yeah, I haven't
Like
seen any of that.
Oh,
I've been
really?
on it too.
You
You
didn't
know,
hear about the landing in Manchester when they had the fucking Voltron thing that landed on the fucking airport strip?
no, I did not.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking orb thing that looked like the and somebody had picked it apart with some Photoshop tools, and the thing looked like fucking like the headpiece to Voltron.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Uh,
And then when they tried to get AI to analyze whether it's been
what was
photoshopped or not, it came up like legit, like it came up like unaltered, like time and time again. And there was a video
what
of it too, like a landing strip in like one of the Manchester airports.
Manchester?
Yeah, UK. Yeah, and the funny part is that their local airports out there are denying it. And I just learned down the food chain, listening to Chris Sharp talk, is that I was not aware that this is something I didn't know about the UK, is that they don't have freedom of speech
Oh,
technically.
there's been this huge controversy surrounding it lately, especially
Yes.
surrounding massive immigration. You know?
Yeah. So like in the UK, you can be charged if you report
Yeah.
on something that's classified.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and Jeremy Corbell just came out with the it was on the Netflix documentary. We just have the clearest footage of a transmedium craft in the middle of what was the 48th parallel, somewhere north of I believe, I don't know, my longitude longitude was somewhere north of Seattle, about like a couple thousand miles out there, middle of the Pacific Ocean. A orb goes up, glowing orb at night. Oh no, wait, this was off. Sorry, this was not the one in. This is not the Channel Islands. This is one in the Channel Islands. Sorry, this is off the coast of California, and it goes up in the sky and then it goes down in the water, and you can see the thing glowing under the water. Was not a Navy buoy. I'll tell you that. Too small. This thing was like one of those orb things that you guys see all the videos of.
Right.
And remember, there's been so much Catalina and all that. They keep up. People keep on saying like there's something under there, but every time you ask an official, they say it's a sandbank.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I don't know how many years ago this was, but God, what was that guy's name? Jimmy something. I think that was it. Anyway, he has a show, and somebody on Google Earth found an entrance to what appears to be an enormous underground cave.
Yeah,
Now,
Malibu, right?
yeah, off Malibu. And then, of course, after all this controversy, it was uh, blurred, blurred out. And they're trying to debunk it, claiming that it's not an entrance to anything. However, it's also known that there are these enormous salt caverns that run out of the country. One of them goes all the way from, the coast of California to Salt Lake. I mean, the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Yeah.
Imagine, imagine an enormous egg of salt, right, in the earth. And it's so big that the Bonneville Salt Flats is just a portion of that shell
Mm-hmm.
stick, sticking out of their earth. The rest of it is underground. And this thing is enormous, okay? I mean, if if you were to like, I don't know, drop a huge bomb or a bunch of huge bombs or something on that area, it would collapse the entire cavern, and then there'd be this huge, what is that, an isthmus where the water comes in from the ocean that would fill that in, and it would be like several hundred feet deep, or
Well,
possibly.
where you're at, and Tohonga's a hot spot for fucking UFOs. Where I live, off Catalina on the west side and between the Long Beach port and out there, like like I know a lot of locals. They don't. when you live near the ocean, you don't always looking out there at night. But there are watchers that go out there, in Palos
Oh
Verdes like
yeah,
all the
that's
time,
been
and
that,
they're always seeing shit.
yeah, that's been that way for years, decades. There's been
And
people like at what is it? Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't think of the name of it. It's Doom Point, I guess. Right out at the end of Canaan Doom Road and just somewhat a bit north of Malibu. There's that whole beach area around Westward Beach, Zuma
yeah,
Beach. There's those hills there, and people sit up on those hills. There's various places to park. I've been in a few of them where people just hang out with binoculars or small telescopes, whatever, larger telescopes, whatever they have,
yeah,
and hang out for hours and hours and hours. And then somebody will show up and they'll be like, "Hey, thanks. All right, yeah, good to see you." And they'll have a coffee or something. And then the one that's been there all damn night will leave, and the next one takes over. And they're on shift or something. So I've seen that. That was quite a few years ago, actually. But I know that that's been happening for quite a long time. That people have been doing that for quite a while,
yeah. It
and
seems
all
like
kinds.
only the amateur hobbyists are the only ones really checking the sky. I guess it's the same way, because I haven't had my radio equipment for years, but I was one of those guys that do monitor the spectrum. You call them scanners.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it seems to be that the hobbyists are really the only ones checking out the situation in the skies.
Yeah, there's a few websites too that are doing that still. Um, I don't know their names. Sorry. I've just over the course of the last few years, some people have sent me stuff, you know, about certain signals and other things, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. There was some radio signal, I'm not sure what wavelength, but they think that it has the possibility, of course, they say that possibility of it being a generated signal, not a natural thing.
Yeah,
And kind of like the old WoW signal. Remember the old WoW signal from the 60s? It's kind of
yeah.
like that. And
Arrow did have a frequency band, the two gigahertz range to the X band, I believe. So they're using microwave tech. They're using microwave transmission as far as the AARO is concerned. That came
yeah,
out
I
of their
think.
PDFs.
Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead.
My mistake. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just
Oh no,
thinking
I was
if
done.
if we really wanted to monitor, I think we should be thinking of things in terms of more advanced forms of communication rather than radio, which is easily disrupted. Things like scalar.
Are you talking about are you talking about like pulsing like a transmission over like different frequencies and reassembling them?
No, not like a scrambler. Um, it's a different wave. I don't even know that much about it really. Nikola Tesla talked a lot about it. It's a particular type of communication wave, similar to radio, I think. Um, Again, I don't know that much about it, but they're saying that it's undisruptible and it's has the ability for instant communication at any distance, infinite, and it can't be jammed and all these things, right? So seems if that's really a real thing, that that would be what we should be looking at, trying to
Uh,
detect that, because that's what some advanced civilization would be using, wouldn't they? I mean,
you'd be looking
it-
into like weirder
it's
stuff like
something that
subatomic.
yeah, they'd be looking at ways to communicate. Another way to communicate at great distance that I was thinking about is based on entanglement.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, yeah,
Because
quantum
entanglement is
entanglement.
yeah, quantum entanglement. It's affected at infinite distance, so it doesn't matter. And all you need, because it's right, left, so to speak. That's not really the truth, but it's a two. It's basically a binary language, so you can translate binary into any language. So now you have a infinite distance, instantaneous communication system, like Star Trek or whatever.
Be-
Star Wars, whatever, because you can't.
believe it or not, the Chinese and our quantum.gov research lab has been working on that technology. I had been exposed to that
Oh, nice.
questionable type of communication about 5 years ago from another tech enthusiast who was talking about using entangled photons to oscillate at different places to have instantaneous communication for
I think
deep
that was
space
me, wasn't it?
transmission. No, it
Wasn't that?
wasn't. No, this was a programmer,
Ah,
and
okay.
we were
I remember talking about it before. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, it was around that time. Yeah, but I had some serious talks with some programmers, and we didn't know enough about material science, but we did understand the concepts well enough. But there apparently the Chinese have already demonstrated this with some sort of satellite that they had used, and there was instantaneous communication. And Quantum.gov had proved it in a lab where they're working on a quantum internet where were able to send packets from point A to point B using this entangled photons,
Wow.
instantaneous communication. So we're talking one for one, no transfer rates. So as fast as your computer can read, it's the fastest it can be on the other side.
Right. Yeah, it's like we're talking right now. It's actually faster
Yeah,
than the way we're talking right now.
technically, yeah, yeah, real time,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't sure if anyone was working with that or not. I'm.
There were,
Yep.
but the implications is deep space communication.
Hmm.
So yeah, because there's like a 20-minute delay between here and Mars, and if you wanted something
Exactly.
instantaneous, you'd want to be right there, right then.
Yeah, you can't conduct any kind of real exploration where you have any communications with like a home base that's at, great distances, light years or something. That's impossible with radio. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to wait 14 years for a message. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, no, that's not going to work. So we got to come up with something that's instantaneous. And so that you know, about five, maybe so, give or take years ago, I was thinking about this quantum entanglement thing. I didn't really know if anyone had ever thought of it, so I was all proud of myself. And
yeah,
and then I started hearing other people talking about it too, and I'm like, oh, somebody else is talking about it. That's good. So I'm not the only one that thought of it. All right, well, shit. But what that really means is that somebody with more money than me is doing some kind of work with it, actually.
yeah. Me and the other guy I was talking to were like, we didn't know enough about physics enough to we were actually in the trying to no, we were going about it the dumb way. It's like how to slow down a photon into a graphene crystalline structure, and then beyond that kind of physics, we were like not going the wrong way. But I guess some eggheads in the government had managed to do some practical applications, and they knew how to entangle photons. I didn't know how. So
Yeah, I'm not sure of the process myself, but I did read that there is someone, I don't recall who it was, but some university, MIT, Caltech, something, um, where they had learned how to program the entanglement, so to speak. They'd have the uh, one particle, and then they would just bring another particle to it, and bam, entangle it.
yeah,
It's like, what?
this the spin from the atom will
Right.
will instantaneous mimic the other one regardless of distance. Yeah,
So once that happened, and they were able to manipulate that, then they could manipulate the the polarity of it, the direction of the spin, so to speak.
yeah,
So that, and as soon as I read about that, I'm like, well, now you have a switch. So that
yeah,
means now you have a two-digit binary language, which means now you can have instant communication at infinite distance. Um, so I know that technology has been around for a little while. They've been working on something like that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's almost at the perfection stage at
It
the
probably is.
DARPA labs. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anytime that I think of something that they're working on it, they probably already perfected it like 10 years ago. You know, we're we're always something like what is it, 75 to 100 years behind what actually exists,
Well,
you know.
the funny part is that people think that militarized AI is a new thing. Well, they've had
I
that
know.
technology. They've had that technology since like 2014
They've
in
had yeah,
in
they've
missile
had the
systems.
I mean, remember I remember God, I don't know how many years ago. One of the Final Fantasy games. This is back when CGI was first coming around, right? When they were first playing with CGI, and one of the things they wanted to perfect was things like skin texture, hair flow, things like that. And Final Fantasy had gotten the hair thing down pretty good. Uh, and that was like a big deal, you know? But what they didn't tell you is that they'd already done that years before, and CGI was so good that it was really starting to mimic reality. But they never got the texture thing down.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was like 2009 or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. And now with the advent of this AI, they're really improving stuff like fast. And I'm certain. I don't even I mean, do I have proof? Of course not. They wouldn't allow that. But I'm pretty certain they've got this perfected AI. And the stuff that we get to see, the chat GPT and the whatever, all the image ones, the
Yeah.
Dolly, and whatever the other names are. Those are the ones we get to see, the ones that put nine fingers on a hand, or two ear holes, things like that. The ones that do that, those are the ones we get to see, we get to use. They're not the ones that really exist. The ones that really exist are so perfect, they're indiscernible from reality. And well, that's not only exciting, but fucking terrifying if you think about it. You know, I mean,
Skynet's real, bro.
think about this. Like this whole Ukraine Russia war thing, or the Israel Iran, whatever, either one. And you see the missiles, and you see the rockets, and you see the people dying, and you see all the shit. What if it's all fake? How many times have they been caught using video games to show us things like what the Ghost of Kiev and all that, right? They got caught using video games.
Well,
Well,
Kiev also got caught using AI for their Ukraine for their recruiting pictures.
oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, one of the kids
Oh,
had two left hands.
oh, geez, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the ones we're allowed to know, and they put them out there like that so that we think that AI is this flawed thing. And then when they really want us to believe something, they use the real stuff, the perfect stuff, the stuff that was perfected 10 years ago, and nobody can tell the difference.
Oh, you mean like what's his name? Elon's ogre, whatever the hell he made.
Rock.
Not Grok, the one that walks around and plays ball.
Oh,
Optimus, or whatever he calls it.
maybe that's the name of it. I have heard that name. I mean, I don't know. I mean the Transformer. I mean,
But yeah, he's basically like iRobot.
wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know they're moving fast with this stuff, and they're moving this fast because it's already been done.
It's probably been.
They can bring it out in whatever speed, so to speak, or frequency that they want to bring it out. Every couple of months, every a year, or whatever it is. This new innovative thing. Oh, this new innovative thing. Yeah, that was new and innovative in 1996.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're showing it to us. Oh, see what we've done? You mean did years ago? Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Jesus, can't even tell the difference. And that's what's going to happen really soon. We're going to be so deceived by things in. the news and online and all these things because it's going to be indiscernible from reality. That's going to be that's going to be an adventure. A
Yeah,
social adventure.
tell me about it. That's what we're
You
dealing with. You
know, I
know,
mean, they're out on the news and you think it's real and you're like, oh my God, this thing's happening. And it's really not. Or or the opposite, you know, fucking sky is falling, but no, they're showing a nice sunny day, or something. Next thing you
well,
know, your house burned down, is crushed to the ground by some
well,
actual.
it surprises me that you're one of the people that's not hearing about these drones. These drones that are fucking. They call them drones, but we call them UFOs. Like all over the fucking world,
Well,
every fucking night.
I did read a thing. Some company, I don't recall the name, but they've got these orbs that fly around and they scan your iris, your
What?
eyes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like a UFO thing, well, okay, technically, nobody can identify it, but it's not an extraterrestrial thing. It's a DARPA, so to speak, thing. And they've been doing it in Brazil, apparently. That's the headline I read. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hang on, give me a sec here.
Okay.
I'll find it. Hmm, Where was that? That was, hang on. Uh, yeah. It's gonna take a second. Sorry. We can talk about stuff. Talk amongst
Oh,
yourself.
oh, I was gonna talk about
You got
fuck,
where is
the
it?
Idaho booms.
Oh yeah, I just saw a video on that too.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah. There's a big sonic booms going on in the middle of Idaho, and the officials are telling everybody to deny it officially.
sounds to me some kind of weapon. Then
Yeah.
they don't want some, other countries and stuff to know. All right, What is this thing? Damn it! Uh,
Idaho booms, Idaho booms. Do, 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 do. There we go.
Where?
Syrian rebels just captured the city of Hama. Yeah, Syria is going down, dude. The country's done. Um,
Hmm.
Let me see. The UFO sightings have been up 100% since November 16.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Is that it? No.
Also, I stopped listening to Mika Hanks after that last podcast that he had, and when the evidence, when you listen to a UFO podcast or a out there podcast, and then they start, the evidence is right in front of their face, and they are downplaying it and believing officials' statements when it's right
Right.
in front of your face. And me and the people that surround me, we, not me personally. I mean, I haven't gotten these kind of tips in a long time, but we both know that there is real intel out there, and that dealing when it comes to many aspects in the government, it'll be like they will throw a flaming bag of shit at you, and then you ask them, and you saw it, right? And then you ask them, why did you throw a flaming bag of shit at me? And they will say, what flaming bag of shit?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's this mentality, and then you try to bring it to you elevate it to like their friends and then the police officers, and they're all on their side, and they say, what, nothing happened. It's this kind of mentality that you're dealing with, and the only way to deal with that is you need to either a catch them in the act, or number two, beat it out of them. You know, And that's what kind of shit we're dealing with. It's you're dealing with a shadow government that doesn't answer
Give it.
to the military, and they think that they're above the law, and they do whatever the fuck they want. And there's a huge cover up. And to what extent is I have some ideas about why they're doing it, but it's I can tell you one thing: it's in the benefit. It's probably not in our benefit nor theirs if they really think about the big picture. If I'm totally right about what is going on, my theory, and I've heard this multiple times through a lot of projects in the backworks, is that the reason they've always been here. You want to hear my theory? It's probably the most logical one. Is
Mhm.
they use this place as a gas station, like between here and there.
Yeah. I wonder what they're
But
using or why they need fuel.
oh, for food and shit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they're getting sandwiches. All right, I can see that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You need a part. Okay, we got a base here.
I mean,
You know, yeah, I've heard that quite a bit, and there are I have heard on Range Four and Range Four on Nellis Air Force Base, and videos have leaked out of ships being flown out of the area, supposedly a fucking alien colony out there that have been there for like at least documented. They what I've heard in the the guy who wrote the book on it, approximately 5,000 years.
oh Jesus.
Yeah,
You know, one of my big questions about the thing is why so secretive?
because they, according to the author of that book, the reason they're so secretive is because they want to be secretive. They don't want anybody to know that they're there. They have the technology to make people forget. They have the technology to cloak, but they would rather work with top officials in the I do things for you, you do things for me, kind of thing. You keep people away from here, and we'll throw you a bone here and there, that kind of shit. And then use the tech. Then what I've heard is that these top brass will leak the technology to for a pretty penny to private corporations and have the retirement funds, and then making them rich.
Right.
Meanwhile, the aliens, they don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Like, that's probably the most logical explanation. They're not interested in us.
Yeah, back in the day, back in the 80s,
Yeah,
there was a song by a band called Zebra, Who's Behind the Door, right? It was really
yeah,
popular. It's actually a really good song. And there's a line in the song that says, um, to go, oh God, now my mind is blanking. Damn it. Um, they haven't got the time. Landing's not on their mind, right?
yeah.
Uh, what do they think of you? Animals in their zoo, things like that. And it basically saying the same thing. They really, it's not like they really care about whether or not we're going to kill ourselves or any of that shit. They just happen to be around, but they're not interfering. They're pretty indifferent.
Yeah, they have bases in places we can't with our own equipment get to, and they have bases on military bases. That have most people are not aware that a majority of the state of Nevada is owned by the federal government and occupies a lot of it as what they would call a armament ranges.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've New Mexico, the White Sands area of New
There,
Mexico.
that too. Yeah,
You know, I've been there. I actually happened upon it. I didn't realize I was that close to it at the time, and
yeah.
uh,
There's a large portion of land to hide things.
oh yeah, it's enormous. I mean, in comparison to say, your average family ranch or something, it's several. it's several hundred square miles as opposed to a few acre, a dozen acres, right? And yeah, most of the state of Nevada, basically. And
Yeah.
a lot of it is just it's just desert sitting out there, and that's where they did all kinds of nuclear testing and stuff. But then
What
there's
better
all
place to
these
hide
other
something?
yeah, and these other sections where there's actual mountains and things. Well, there's these huge doors built into these mountains that it doesn't look like a door; it looks like a mountain. And they've got
Yeah.
all kinds of in there, and they've had that going on for a long, long time. And I think there's, the idea of Area 51. Well, what about Area 52, 53? What about Area 6? What?
Or
Um,
the new Utah proving grounds that they got.
I mean, there are several places where they have stuff. Just, and then there's the ones like Balto, North Dakota, where the pyramid is.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be a kind of like a touristy thing now, but it used to be this huge thing. Well, there's still an enormous underground facility there.
Yeah.
And if anyone thinks they're not using that, I mean, maybe they're not using the whole thing, but anything they need to hide, they're going to put it where people think nothing is.
I've heard that as well.
They think that this base has been shut down and been shut down for decades, and they never see any activity or anything there. Well, they're going to think, yeah, well, yeah, it's shut down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know, 4 floors underneath or more, you've got this bustling community of secret stuff. I'm not supposed to say that, but and just nobody knows about it. And all the secret stuff is all hidden. And then there's the other thing, Antarctica, the most impenetrable location on the planet. Yet so many governments have been there. And if you try to go there without permission, who's going to shoot you down? United States Navy.
Yeah,
Um,
there's been a lot of yeah, exactly. It's one of the places that are the most I don't know. I've always wanted to go there. You can go there, but it's like, super expensive. But it's also one of the
and then
you can only go where they let you go.
yep, exactly right. You can only go to certain spots. They won't let you just, plunk down with a snowcat and head out. They just won't let you do that.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're caught flying over the thing, the U.S. Navy will scramble jets and tell you to either leave or land. If you disagree, if you disobey, they will shoot you the fuck down.
They say it's not
Like,
militarized, but it is.
it's like, really? Nobody is supposed to own this. It's Antarctica. I should be able to fly over it whenever the hell I want. Nope, not allowed. You try to take a boat, same thing. They'll dispatch the freaking Navy after you. Same thing with a submarine. You think you're being clever. Nope, doesn't
Yeah,
matter. If you don't go there and through their process, they want you to get all these inoculations and all this other shit, and they want this paperwork and background checks and blah, blah, blah.
oh yeah, you
Oh,
can't. They won't even let you go. They won't even let you go there if you have like something wrong with your teeth.
right. Anything. So, it's like, really? Why not? Nobody is supposed to own this thing. This should be pretty much the epitome of public land, right? But no, no one's allowed to go there. Hmm. And it's nearly impenetrable anyway. You know, uh, how thick is the ice? What is it? 2 to 4 miles thick in some places? Well, if you were to go inside of that and whittle it, and carve it out, make it a big cave, even if it
Yeah,
was a mile thick, a nuclear bomb wouldn't blast that apart.
yeah, I know
I mean, talk about an impenetrable fortress.
exactly.
I mean, that's where all the secrets are, man. I mean, the real ones, the ones that they don't ever want anyone to ever find ever.
Yeah,
And that's why,
there's been some weird stuff that I've heard about there. Like there's like this one weird they call it like it's basically like a snow desert, and there's no snow in this area, and they have found like a seal carcass like hundreds of miles inland in Antarctica.
Wow.
Like, what animal would do that?
Right. And it's not like there's polar bears there. Polar
No,
bears are on the North Pole, not the South Pole. Penguins are on the South Pole, polar bears are on the North Pole. Right.
exactly.
So there's no large apex predators down there, supposedly.
And that's not
As
the
far as
weirdest. That's not the weirdest stuff. You've heard about
like the Black Pyramid
you
underground
heard about
there.
you heard about the whale that was dropped down in the middle of Brazil, right? In the middle of the jungle.
There's a whale dropped in the middle of Brazil. No, I
Yeah,
didn't hear about
something like that. Yeah, like a whale carcass. Yeah,
the hell.
yeah, like somewhere on the somewhere in the jungle. Yeah,
Well, I'm sure there'd be those out there that would make the argument that some hurricane or typhoon or something picked it up and threw that's a hell of a stretch, but I mean I could see fish or something, you know. But a whale?
fucking whale.
You know, kind of a stretch, buddy. You know,
The aliens are like, hey, you guys want sushi? Where are we gonna
I know.
drop it? I think this thing lives in the water, right? No, 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 no. He doesn't know. He lives in the jungle, bro. He
He
lives in the
lives in the
jungle.
jungle. That's where I found him. That's where I found him out in the jungle. That's where he's got to be from. I mean, if he lives in the ocean, we're talking about miles away from the ocean. How did he get here? Yeah,
It's
no,
like it's like dealing with the cattle mutilation, and people think that like they're doing all the experiments, and I'm like, no, I think they're eating them, bro. I think they're just picky eaters.
they're just picky eaters. They only want certain parts.
Yeah.
They must blood because didn't find a drop of it.
Well, believe it or not, blood is actually you can do a lot with it. Actually, you
Oh,
can do a lot
sure.
of platelets.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Blood. It's a treasure trove, biologically speaking.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just you know, it's now the Jersey drones are they're turning it into this now they're manned mini airplanes that are flying around. I'm like, no, that's not what I was seeing the first time I was seeing these videos go around with the Jersey drones, the UK drones, and all that other stuff. I heard the RAF spike in the activity was due to this was a UFO rumor that there was some sort of transfer of nuclear arms, and somebody was saying in the chat room that the aliens had an agreement that we would not be using nuclear wars and armaments, and they are making themselves known. I don't know. I just think that I don't know if this was related to some nuclear transfer of arms, that they are everybody and their mother are trying to scan it to make sure that that what is being moved around. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just it's you can't. It's not just like there though. It's like all over the fucking place, from Norway to fucking Brazil to Argentina, China. I mean, Iran. Like, I've never seen anything like this. The one video I saw in China freaked me the fuck out. That thing looks like something intergalactic. I've never seen anything like that. Well, let me see if I got the video. I can share it to you. Hold on. This is the one in China. It was there. China, 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 China. China, 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 China. Oh yeah, this one's in China. Put in the chat room.
okay.
Hold on, China. Where's Discord? China. There you go. That's the one in China. Look at it. See the video.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what is that, dude? That don't look fake either, huh?
Really don't have any tools to pick it apart right now, but
You even hear the people saying Chinese and like UFO.
shape.
I've never seen tracking lights like that.
I don't know if that is the hull of the ship or just the glow in the sky like clouds or something. Anyway,
You know what's weird is that light pattern. I saw that same light pattern.
oh, now I see it better. It's video? Oh, okay.
You hear the light pattern that you're seeing in there? I saw it in
Oh,
Argentina a few weeks ago from a different video. So this, and I also saw a video of this.
so
Yeah, I've seen a different picture of that. I believe. Let me see. It's on my timeline.
this is really far.
Really, Charlotte? Jeez. I have a video somewhere of the UAP that looks like a daytime version of that. And guess what?
Is that thing called TARDIS?
No, this thing looked like the daytime version of that, and I saw it in another country. That's what weirds me out, is that thing that you're seeing in China, I've seen in other countries being photographed. Like, that's the weird part. You know, it's when you start seeing the same object in different countries, you know? Either one, it's fake, or B, somebody's really taking a picture of something that's real out there, you know? Like, God, there's so much UFOs. I can't even keep track of all my messages, you know?
Right?
But, oh, here we go.
Video of this thing
In
flying out,
Latvia. No, I have the video of that thing in Latvia.
and this one is
China.
on the moon. Oops.
No, no, no. Discord. I'll show you this one in Discord. I have that same object in Latvia. Similar, huh?
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vanishing. What do they mean by vanishing? It took off very fast, or it
One
blinked out
minute's
of
one minute's there, the next minute's poof,
just blinked out of existence. Okay.
just blinked out of
All right.
existence. Oh, yeah. Actually, I gotta call the show a little early tonight.
Okay.
I'll
No worries.
yeah, I gotta, because I gotta put my kid to bed.
No, it's cool.
I'll be back on the 19th